Oh, I see YouTube button at the top.
Okay,
Can somebody just make sure it's working?
I think so.
I mean, go on YouTube just to make sure that it's actually
I think it's
appearing.
working. Okay. Okay, apologies for starting a bit late. Let me just put on my slides. Okay. Can you guys see my slides? Yay, nay.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Madhu. Okay. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here at our June's meeting for the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council. It is always a pleasure to be here with you, parent leaders, and community, of course. Um, we wanted to let and remind everyone of who we are. The Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, us, is comprised of the presidents or the designees of President's Council representing 32 districts and each of the boroughs, high school districts, including District 75. We are elected by each of our constituents. We also advocate for the 1.1 million New York City public students and their families. We work as a team to identify concerns, trends, and policy issues, and to advise the chancellor of these issues. The Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council, we must ensure that each of our parents' voices are heard. We collaborate with different stakeholders and work together to provide high quality and useful information. So, as always, we're always striving for excellence, equity, and opportunity for all. And here's your executive board members for this school year of 2024-2025, which runs up to October of 2025. Want to introduce, which you already know, first Vice Chair, Randy Garay. Want to say hi, Randy.
Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. We have our second Vice Chairperson, Erica Newsom Rodriguez. Want to
Good
say hi?
morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Is our recording secretary here, Ashley Mulero?
Good morning, everyone. Here.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashley. And we have also our corresponding secretary, Josephine Cangelosi. Are you here?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
And we have our treasurer, Rebecca Staley.
It's not going to be half an hour, but
Good morning. And last but not least, we have your chairperson, Rosa G. Diaz. I am the president of Manhattan High School's President's Council. And we are going to start with the CPAC meeting procedures and standing rules. And for that, we are going to have Ms. Erica Newsom Rodriguez to give us a little summary of these rules.
Hi, good morning and welcome all. Just the basics. If you do want to be recognized, please raise your virtual hand and wait till you are recognized by the chair before speaking. Be an active listener, stay engaged, be respectful, kind, and professional, and remember one mic, please. Don't unmute yourself until you have been recognized. No side conversations in the chat. No disrespect to anyone, and no follow-up questions once your question has been answered. Um, infractions, warning on the first infraction. If disrespect continues, you will then be muted for the rest of the meeting. And if it escalates, you will then be removed. Again, as always, we very much doubt that we will need any of that. So generally, we're just asking everyone to be participants and engaged and learn a lot from all of our amazing speakers and everything that we have planned for you today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. Let me just hide this. Okay, we are going to call this meeting to order at 9:39, and we are going to do the attendance. Randy?
Good morning, everyone. So the attendance form is in the chat. If you're here, just unmute and say that you're here. District 1,
Here.
District 2, District 3, District 4.
District 2 here. Sorry, I wasn't fast enough.
No problem, Amanda. District 4, District 5, District 6.
Present, good morning.
Good morning, Caroline. District 7, District 8.
Good morning.
Good morning, Erica. District 9.
Good morning.
Good morning. District 10. District 11. District 12. District 14. What, District 13, are you here? Oh, thank you, Cheryl. District 14. District 15.
District 15 present.
Good morning, Liz. District 16.
Present.
Good morning, Thais. District 17. District 18. District 19. District 20.
Here.
Morning. District 21.
Present, good morning.
Good morning, Cheryl. District 22.
Good morning, I'm here.
Good morning, Michelle. District 23. District 24. District 25. District 26.
Good morning, Adriana here.
Good morning, Adriana. District 27. District 28. District 29.
Good morning, Priscilla here.
Good morning, Priscilla. District 30.
Good morning.
Okay.
Morning, Becca. District 31.
Good morning.
Morning, Melissa. District 32. District 75.
Morning.
Morning, Rima. This Brooklyn High School, I am here. Bronx High School. Rodell.
Yeah, District 7 is here.
Okay. Manhattan High School.
I'm here, Rosa Diaz, thank you.
Morning, Rosa. Queens High School.
Morning, everyone. Shanette Walters, Queens President's Counselor here.
Good morning, Shanette.
Morning.
Staten Island High School. Okay, anyone I missed?
District 4 type that they're here, Randy.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. Apologies for being late for District 4, one here. Thank you.
All right, good morning. Okay, I turn the floor back over to you, Chair.
Thank you. And thank you so much. District 5, did they come in? As a new President's Council president. And I know District 9, Picarda. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we did a roll call, obviously, and this is the agenda, just in case. We're doing CPEC business and updates, and we are going to have a President's Council District and Borough updates. And after that, around 9:50, we're going to have New York Life Insurance, a scholarship opportunity for juniors and seniors by Agent Amadou Tioje. And then we're going to have a summarizing director of summarizing programming and special projects, probably Angela. And after that, we're going to have 3K and pre-K presentation by the executive director of admissions, Daniel Hill. And then we're going to have a presentation by the Division of Instructional and Information Technology, DIIT. We're gonna have a live Q&A. We did send out a questionnaire to all the CPAC members. We've had 3 President's Council that reached out to me directly with different concerns. I did print out their questions. So we're going to have a very detailed questions for the IIT. And around 11:20, we're going to have our family and community engagement updates at Jesse Mojica. Then we're going to have our Chancellor, Melissa Viles Ramos, and we're also going to have our CPAC liaison, Anthony Aguilar, with hot topics. And we did not receive the April and May minutes. I know every single parent is busy. It's June. We're like running everywhere with different meetings, holding our elections, doing expedited elections, et cetera, et cetera. It's definitely okay. And hopefully we adjourn around 12:15. Okay, so right now we're gonna open it up. Let me just stop sharing. Okay, we're going to open it up for like a couple of minutes for district and borough updates. If you guys want to raise your hand, I will call you out. If you want to say anything that is happening in your district or thank anyone for inviting you to their legislative breakfast, like Adriana, thank you so much. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend. Yes, Carly.
I'm coming live from a stairwell. Sorry about that. I'm at work. I just want to make sure that I made it to this particular meeting off. After all, everyone that's on this call, just remember why you're running in this position, and always know that the kids that are in this position right now, in this moment of, I hate to say it, but yes, chaos, we are the ones that are holding the torch, right, for all families right now. And I think that's just important. I know this is an update moment. I'm trying to make it short, but I just wanted to say that because it is the last meeting. And I'm super, super proud of every single one of us. And just keep on pushing and encourage your parents to really unite on the forefront, because this is the time where we're asked to, beckon the call. So I just want to put that out there. The event that we're having in District 6, really excited for, is our annual STEM fair. It is our 7th annual STEM fair, and it's coming on Saturday at the Armory Track and Field that's located on 168th Street in Fort Washington. It is a very, very well-known armory, and we're just really excited because all the kids that are participating, they really have outdone themselves. I mean, it's anything from robotics all the way to climate change that's actually encompassed into this STEM fair. So I'm really, really excited. I invite everyone on a wonderful Saturday afternoon, or excuse me, morning, if you have time. We switch the time, we go from afternoon to morning. I will drop the flyer in the chat, and I just invite you all to see what's going on in Uptown in Manhattan, Washington Heights. Thank you so much, Rosa, and the wonderful executive board. You guys are amazing. Thank you for everything that you're doing in the name of our council, and looking forward to another school year coming up.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carolyn. And thank you also for hosting the training. I'm sorry I wasn't able to attend due to the change of dates, but I would have been there. I love
It's
training.
totally okay. We missed you so much, and there's always opportunities abound. We're really, really happy that we were able to at least hold it. And listen, it's just gonna always be a learning experience. So we're looking forward to joining up again with you. And yeah, go PTAs and PAs all across New York City Public Schools. Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Adriana, yes.
Hi, hello everyone. Sorry if I'm in and out. There's actually a couple events in our school, including the district meet and greet with our PTA. So if I get out of the meeting, please, I'll try to get back on really quick. I just want to say thank you, Rosa, for even responding to my invitation. President's Council had a wonderful legislative breakfast. 200 pretty much in attendance at our breakfast, including our local electeds and our community partners. But I just want to say and put it out there that I wish more districts had more events like this for our PTAs. And I'm very saddened that the DOE and the mayor's office did not put something together for our parent leaders like they used to. I know de Blasio had one, Adams had one like 2 years ago, and I'm very saddened that we didn't have one this year for our parent leaders because they do so much, we do so much, and I don't think it should be every district like should be doing something for them. I think that we do so much and we should be sharing the same table, so to speak, and just bonding with each other. And I just want to put it out there. Whoever's to say, I invited Jesse to our legislative breakfast. I know he wasn't unable to come, but just putting it out there. If we can have more of these events for our parent leaders, I would really appreciate that across the district so that we can bond together, not just mine.
Absolutely. I definitely do agree. And if I remember correctly, last year we did have a parent leaders event and the chancellor was there and it was a really great event at Gracie mentioned in June of 2024. Priscilla.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to highlight the CPAC Council for the great communication, particularly in May and June. It's chaotic, graduation ceremonies and all, and we forget. I'm heading to my school. I'm heading to 3 other schools today, a CEC, this and that. So thank you first and foremost for those constant reminders, especially at 15 minutes prior to. That's number one. Number two, District 29 is having an oath installation for our newly inducted PTAs. This is the first time we're doing this oath installation. We have a lot of families in our community. We want to highlight them for their leadership. So we will be celebrating them this Tuesday, the 17th, with a dinner. We'll have a children's section. We'll have activities for the children, and they'll have their own kids menu. And we are giving out awards. Sadly, our superintendent, Crystal Bronze, has announced her resignation and retirement. So we are sad to lose such a queen in our district, but we have a great executive team. We have great parent leaders, and we got this. So thank you so much, CPAC, for everything you do. I'm going to reach out to you personally, Rosa. I have joined Manhattan High School's PTA Executive Board as Vice President. And we are excited. So thank you all, everyone. And if I don't hear from you guys before next school year, have a great summer.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And you will always hear from us because it feels like CPAC is year round. Thank you,
Rosa.
Of course, thank you. And Shernette.
Hi, good morning. So a quick announcement. So we're taking on the task of doing a thank you celebration dinner next Tuesday, the 17th, where we are gonna have our superintendents for Queens, our parent coordinators, our parent leaders, our FLCs and FSCs. We're hosting a dinner for them to thank them for collaborating with us this year for our first team effort of saying thank you to the collaborative efforts that we've done this year. So it's just going to be hanging out, mixer, getting to know each other, seeing each other without the bottom half being on a Zoom meeting and just eating some good food. And it's going to take place at the Linden Place Welcome Center. And it's on Tuesday at 6. So we're just going to celebrate our district leaders, our parent leaders, and we invited any new PTA installed presidents as well as outgoing. So we have 15 attendants, and it's a good mix from all of our districts showing up for superintendents, parent coordinators, and parent leaders, FSCs, and FLCs. So that's our announcement. And then we had our elections, and we're all systems go for next year. That's it. I'm done. Is it frozen? I think she's frozen.
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't know if everybody else is frozen, but I can hear you.
Okay. Well, that's my 2 cents. I don't know what happened.
I think we lost Rosa, so we'll move on to Erica.
Hi, good morning. I definitely want to jump in with District 8 and a big shout out and thank you to our superintendent, Jennifer Joint, who is holding a luncheon to thank all of the parent leaders, our CECs, DPAC, President's Council, and all of our PTAs. So they are being recognized for everything they do in the district. Our President's Council is actually hosting a hello goodbye dinner uh, on the 30th, on the last day, where it's the last day for the outgoing, and the next day will be the first day for the incoming. So everyone gets to network, talk, and feel recognized for everything that they did and celebrate the year. Half the time we do so much, but we forget to stop and realize all of those carnivals, events, and fundraisers, we actually all pulled them off and did everything we needed to do to get that done for our students and school communities. And finally, we have our Parents' Choice Awards that are the extension for the voting ended today. We have a lot of great people being recognized, our principals, parent coordinators, and teachers, and we're looking to celebrate them as well over at District 8. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know what happened. It said tech issues. I'm not sure, but thank goodness we keep going live stream. Thank you so much, District 1, Ashley.
Thank you, Rosa. So I just wanted to give an update. Yesterday, District 1 had a event. It was to celebrate the literacy milestones for our students, as well as recognizing some representatives from CEC, as well as the superintendent was there, Carrie Chen, and we also had an amazing turnout. Melissa was there as well. So it was definitely really cool to have her there with us. She gave out awards. So just taking the time to thank everybody who showed up and, made the event special. We did have students' artwork around as well. That pertained more towards their books that they're reading, and learning more about what our students are reading from, kindergarten all the way through 8th grade currently, and seeing how much they've progressed with our EL curriculum. And we also have our Essex Market reading hub that's also being utilized by a lot of our older students. So recognizing, mostly like we here to represent our kids, from all over, and this was definitely a great turnout. So just thanking the chancellor, the superintendent, and everybody else who can make the event special. But it was definitely a great event. So just wanted to put that out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. And we're gonna have our last comment, Banana. Please, we're over time. Make it quick, please.
No problem, Rosa. Short and sweet. Hello, everyone. This is Vandana Bonia from District 4. Here are the updates for our district. The District 4 SOT convention was a great success, thanks to Dr. Christie. Additionally, we held a District 4 art festival in Museo del Barrio, organized by Nancy Pereira, which was also a huge success. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great summer.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. And we're also having our Coachella on Tuesday, but that's another conversation. Thank you,
Oh,
Vandana.
yes. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're going directly to our presenter, Amadeo. The floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, everybody. My name is Amadou Choye. I know you forget my name all the time. It's Amadou Choye. All right. Thank you, everybody. And really, let me start off by saying thank you to the great work you guys are doing here, the CPAC. And it's an honor and really a privilege to have the opportunity to be here and really talk to you about the work that I do. I'm a financial professional with New York Life Insurance Company, and I'm a member of the community. And as you know, part of running my practice is just to try to find ways to contribute to the community. I do really run sometimes some financial literacy workshop with the senior centers and some members of the community groups. So the reason I'm here today is really to share very important financial information. We have a foundation at New York Life, and I would love to have the opportunity to work with leaders like you guys here to find ways to leverage the foundation and benefit from the humanity work that New York Life does. And today we are launching what we call the New York Life Financial Empowerment Scholarship. Here, your kids who are in high school can earn $10,000 to $20,000 scholarship, and this is just by playing game. So we are proud to announce this really scholarship program, and this will allow these high school students to learn invaluable financial concept along the way. As part of the scholarship application process, eligible students need to complete modules in New York Life interactive financial education game and submit a short essay. So I will share the link with Rosa, and I'm going to put it in the chat if you want to register. So the students should play and learn through our financial education game. Students should submit the scholarship application, providing all information requested. If your child is not a junior or a senior, student age 13 and older can still access the financial education game to explore personal financial concept and earn prizes, all for free. This is more than a chance to win a scholarship. It's a chance to gain financial confidence and prepare for the future. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact me at 347-684-1830. Yeah. So I'm really, I cannot say how thankful I am for you guys, because the work you're doing is so great. Because, can you hear me? Yeah, it looks like it's frozen here. All right. So again, thank you. And I'm open to any question you may have on this program. And also we do some seminars sometime. If you're interested in seminars like 5 to 9 plan, college education funding, Coverdell, and all the other financial tools you might need to make sure your kids get a financial head start, we are open to really providing those seminars to your communities. Thank you.
Randy, I believe she's not on again.
Oh, I was just gonna say, did we lose Rosa again? Does anyone have any questions about this scholarship? Okay, I just have a question. Is this just for New York City public school students, or is this for all students across the state?
Yes, this is for all students. It doesn't matter where you live, what state you live, you can participate.
So if you live in Georgia, New Jersey, it's all across the United
Anywhere,
States.
anywhere in the US.
Okay, and how many students will receive the opportunity to receive the scholarship if they complete playing the games?
That's gonna be, I don't know how many they're gonna be, but I think those who are gonna be successful in playing those games and being successful, I think they all might be eligible to gain like to earn 10,000, depending if they take 25 modules, it's gonna be 10,000. 50 modules is gonna be $20,000. So this is how they will do it. But we will have the opportunity to elaborate more on this, but I think it's open for them. Even if they don't win anything, the fact that they gain those financial confidence, have those financial information is very important. I don't know if you know this. Today, the household income in our community is nearly $25,000. Compared to the affluent people who are really $300,000 a year, $250,000 a year. So having the opportunity to know how to manage this budget is very important for our communities.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I see you put that in. Can you just put your contact information in the chat for everyone if they want to contact you
Yeah.
directly? Thank you so
I'm
much.
gonna put it. Thank you. I'm gonna put 1347.
Okay. Thank you so much for being
Yeah.
here, for sharing this information for our children. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Sure. I'm part of the community. Whatever I have, I want to share it with you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone, I know that, there was a conflict with, summarizing. Unfortunately, they can't be here today. Is there anyone here? Is Daniel here from 3K? The Executive Director of Admissions, is he here yet? Anthony?
No, I don't see him.
Okay, and DIIT I don't see yet. So do you want to move your hot topics up? You wanna?
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Good morning, everybody. So I just wanted to go over a couple of things that we went over last month, just to reiterate them, just to make sure they're fresh and top on your mind. So the first one is transfer of records. We should be transferring records before your term ends. So that is everything PTA, financial, passwords, keys, all that good stuff that you have, any documentation that you have either on a SharePoint, Google Drive, all that information should be shared with the new elected board. Remember that transfer of records should happen with the principal of the school. That is regulation, okay? So make sure that the principal is at your transfer of record meeting. We need to submit annual financials. So that should be submitted to your parent coordinator, principal, or any designee that they have assigned. That document basically says everything that the PTA has done up to date, all incoming money and all expenditures that have happened within your term. This is also good to give in. Why? Because the new board can plan based on what you did last term. So please submit that as soon as possible. If you have, if your PTA has done their monthly financial report, this should be easy because you should have everything already, and it's just aggregating all that information and putting it into one document. We should also be having quarterly meetings with your principal to talk about everything that you did this year, talk about successes, talk about downfalls, and how we can make next year better. Also, for elections, one thing that has been coming up is notification, right? For all elections, we have to have 10-day calendar, 10 days notice of that election that's happening. Remember, on this notice, we need to have certain things, and I'm going to read it out for you. According to the regulations, it must have date, time, location. If it is virtual, it should have the link. It should have all executive board positions to be filled, and that's all of them, right? All the executive board. It should have it should state how the election will function. So if it is if it's expedited, or if they already took nominations from the floor, it should state everything. So the reason why I'm saying this is for transparency, because the regulation does state that it should be free, fair, and equal to everybody. So we should share this information broadly. Before I go to the next thing, say if I did not reach quorum at my election, you can have an election in 5 business days. So if you didn't make quorum, that same day you can put a notice stating that in 5 days I will have an election to redo this election. It states that in Chancellor's regulation. As long as you send that notice out ASAP, you can have another election meeting 5 days, not 10 days, 5 days after that election meeting that you just tried to have. Okay. Once your election is done, make sure you are submitting an election certification form to your parent coordinator, principal, or their designee so that they can submit it into our system so that we know that you have successfully had an election. One thing that we should be doing is also having President's Council elections before the end of the term, right? The reason why we're doing this is because they are autonomous and we want to keep your autonomy. And by having that before the term ends, you can execute that election. If you wait until September, you are no longer controlling that President's Council election. The district office is. Okay? So just remember, try to get it done as soon as possible before your term ends so that you can keep your autonomy and host that election. So now we're going to go into summer planning. This is also a good reason why to have the elections early is because then in the summer, you can plan so that when September comes, you are already ahead of the ball. You already have things completed, and those things are basically changing the signatories on your bank account, making sure that all the new elected boards are on that bank account for signatory purposes. You should already have all the records. You can start scheduling your meetings. So you should, it's best practice to make a document stating all your meetings for the year, right? So they know in advance. They can plan ahead of time. Also, they should be planning their executive board meetings. That is a mandatory meeting that you should have alongside with your monthly your monthly general membership meeting. You can also work on your proposed budget during the summertime. So anything that you might want to do this upcoming term based on last year, if you want to bring it back, or if there's new things that you want to implement, these are things that you should be looking at and planning. Also, it is important to go over your bylaws. Make sure that you know what your bylaws states, right? Some people think that they remember everything, but each PA PTA is different. And if you're jumping from one PTA to another, so say if I was on PS1 PTA and now I'm PS2's PTA, just because we're at PTA doesn't mean we function the same. There's some things that automatically have to stay the same, but some things like meeting dates change. The way the format in which you are having these meetings change, and you should know these specific dates, times, platform, or location based on your PTA. And the bylaws say everything. The bylaws are your day-to-day operations when it comes to the PAPTA, President's Council, CPAC. Remember, you as a PTA president or President's Council president are the organization, the committee, the, the council that they look up to, right? So you are modeling what all the PAPTAs have to do in the district. And if you're following these protocols, they should also follow these protocols. The same thing goes for CPAC. They're all President's Council's model, leader. They should be shadowing CPAC essentially. So it just functions like that. So make sure all these things are done. Make sure we're providing trainings to any new members. Make sure we're going over roles and responsibilities as well, because that is important.
Penny,
Yes.
sorry, it's 10:14 and I saw that Daniel came in. Would you mind pausing to allow him to start and then we'll
Yeah,
get you?
definitely. That's fine.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our next presenter. We're definitely gonna have time for questions for Anthony, but we just want to be respectful of everyone's time. So Daniel is the Executive Director of Admissions, and he's here to give a presentation on 3K and pre-K.
Hey folks, good morning. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, Anthony, if he needs to share, I'm not host. Can you just give me?
I'm not going to share any slides. I'm just
Oh,
going to
okay.
speak to some dates. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, nice to meet with you all. I think this is my first time meeting with CPAC, so thanks for making some time for us and our work. Yeah, like Randy said, I am Daniel Hildreth. I'm the Executive Director of Elementary School Admissions. Our team oversees 3K, pre-K, kindergarten, and gifted and talented placements. And we're very excited to say that we released both 3K and pre-K offers earlier last month. So 3K offers were out May 20th and pre-K offers out May 13th. We have a couple important dates. So tomorrow is the deadline for anyone who received a main round offer, who applied during the application period and received an offer. Tomorrow's the deadline for those families to accept and register for those seats. Many families have already accepted well in advance of tomorrow, and we are reminding families through various means to do that. Families may receive waitlist offers, though. They may receive offers to programs that they've been waitlisted at and seats open up, and they may accept that offer at that time to accept a more preferred option. That will happen on a rolling basis and has been happening since offers were released. So when offers go out, programs and schools also have access to their list of offered students and their waitlisted students. So there may be programs that on day one made waitlist offers, but this will happen on a rolling basis, and we expect that it will happen more aggressively after tomorrow's deadline because families will decline offers. Some families may not respond to their offers, which is treated as a declination. And then programs will know whether they have some available seats and will extend additional offers. We do see that happen pretty regularly up until the very end of the school year, and then it quiets down over the summer. Lots of schools, do not have the staff that are managing the wait list, but many programs are open for 12 months and are still using those wait lists through the summer. But we see it pick back up right before Labor Day, and wait lists extend all the way through September 19th. So it is possible for families to receive a waitlist offer even after the school year begins, and they can decide whether they want to accept or decline that offer. An important aspect of the process also is that if you have an accepted offer and you get a new waitlist offer, and then you accept that, it will decline your previously accepted offer. So you can only have one accepted offer, but you may get a waitlist offer, and waitlist offers typically give a shorter window for families to respond. So about a week. Could be more, but minimally a week for families to decide whether they're going to accept that waitlist offer. After a family accepts their offer, they simply need to register with the offered program by providing proof of their home address, proof of their child's date of birth, immunization records, etc. So that's just a paperwork side of the registration. And then we're excited to have them begin in the fall. Of course, there are programs that have eligibility requirements. Those would be our Head Start and Extended Day and Year programs, which have eligibility requirements. So families who receive those offers to Extended Day and Year programs and Head Start, which will have to prove their eligibility. And so there's individual processes for each of those program types. Want to also just make a note about sibling priority. We may have families who have multiple children going into 3K, pre-K, and kindergarten, or one of the two. So if a family has an older child get an offer for kindergarten to a program where their younger child is waitlisted, we want to know about that so we can give that younger child sibling priority. So oftentimes this is handled at the school or program, but my team is also supporting families and schools in this way too. So I do want to just push a couple opportunities to interact with my team. So probably the fastest and easiest way is to email us at esenrollment@schools.nyc. I'll put that in the chat here. We also have our call center. The call center can provide more broader guidance, but if you want to get right to the team who's been working on the submissions, I suggest emailing. It's a very busy time for us, but we are able to get back to families pretty quickly. And last thing I'll say, and I want to hear any questions that there are out there, is that we have virtual events coming up next week and into the summer. These are events that are specifically designed for families who may have missed the deadline, didn't apply during the application period, new families to New York City. So these events essentially go over what can you do right now. And so it talks about how the waitlist works, what to expect if you've been added to a waitlist, and some of the things I've mentioned earlier. I'll put the link to those events here in the chat as well. Those are completely open and available to anybody who's interested. And I do want to just say that if there are families who have just come to New York City or did not apply for 3K or pre-K or kindergarten for that matter, the waitlist process is open. So families simply need to build a My Schools account with an email address, and then they can begin adding their child to any waitlist of programs that they're interested in. So that's a pretty open process, and we see lots of families who did not apply during the main round still get offers. I also want to highlight that this is the first year where we were able to give 3K offers to all applicants who applied during the application period. So that was exciting in that it was the first time we've done that. In order to do that, though, families may have received placements at programs that are further from home than they had hoped for. So there is a small portion of our application pool where families are getting placed at a program that has available seats, that is near their home, that was not listed on their application. The vast majority of families are receiving an offer to one of their top 3 choices, which we're very happy to share. However, if you get an offer to your third choice, you're still waitlisted at choices 1 and 2, and that's automatic. So that's how our process works, where if you receive an offer to a choice on your application, you're automatically on the waitlist to anything you ranked higher than that program. Okay, I've talked at you a lot. I'd love to hear if there's any questions. I think we have plenty of time.
Thank you so much. Apologies that I was having a bit of tech problems. Thank you so much, Daniel. Do we have any questions? Please raise your hand. I think you might have covered everything.
Well, let me also please put my personal email in the chat if you really need to kind of get to somebody or there's something that is urgent or serious. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me directly. I'm happy and I'll always pick up the phone. So
Absolutely. I do have a question.
yeah.
I'm already past that 3K, but my son was one of the first ones that got them when it was just starting years ago. If your child, like my child, let's just say, is in a different district, and then I'm going to apply for a 3K for that specific different district, right? With the sibling priority. Will my child be placed in the district where we live or where my other child is attending?
Yeah, so you will get a priority to attend the program where you have another child already enrolled. That priority falls within the structure of that specific program. So, for example, a non-zoned sibling would come after zoned families if we're talking about a district school that hosts 3K. However, many of our CBO programs, our New York City early education centers that are contracted with New York City, those don't give sibling priority and they don't give district priority. When it comes to siblings, we'll come very, very close to the top. The only nuance I want to just highlight there is from 3K going into pre-K, current students who are in the 3K have top priority to remain in that program. And then siblings will be prioritized just after current students. Very typically, we have enough seats for current students to age up into the pre-K, but not always. There are some programs where there are more current students than seats in pre-K, which can get a little tricky. But yeah, sibling priority will always be applied, but there are situations where families are being waitlisted at programs where they have an older child too.
Right. Yeah, that's what I thought, but I just wanted to like confirm because we have different CBOs, like Union Settlement and
Mhm.
ABC and other programs, and I'm like, why is it not the same? You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions for Daniel? I mean, we're good on time. Yes, please, Randy.
So, oh no, for three, no, never mind. I'm sorry, never mind.
She just wanted to say hi.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Daniel, so much. We'll send out your information. Thank you for your presentation, letting us know your direct email. I love that. We're gonna share it out too. So
Yeah, sure.
beware.
And invite me back. Like I said, we cover 3K pre-K, kindergarten, gifted and talented. I'd be more than happy for myself to come back or someone from my team and meet with you all again. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
Thank you. Okay. Pass the baton back to you, Anthony.
You're
You're
muted.
muted by
Sorry about that. I thought since it was down, you can hear me. Um, so that was basically it for my section. So I gave you some updates on what you should be doing this month, and then what you should be doing in the summertime. Does anybody have any questions on anything that I have stated? No? Okay, perfect. That means I
yes,
did my
we
job.
have.
Oh
I
man.
think we had a District 1. Ashley, you had a question?
No question, just everything that Anthony said was on point and everyone needed to hear.
Thank you.
I know one question that comes up, and I know a lot of parent leaders don't know how that works. Um, it's when you haven't had a PAPTA for like the whole year, right? When it comes now to September, what needs to be done? What are the steps necessary that we can support that school to have a working PAPTA? And then we'll go with Priscilla's question.
Okay, that's a perfect question. So at that point in time, the principal must reestablish the PAPTA. And that happens by the principal setting a date to hold a meeting to vote on new executive board members. So they choose the date, they choose the time. However, they cannot host the meeting. Okay? The principal, the PC cannot host the meeting. They can verify voters, but they cannot host the meeting. I'm saying that a lot because I want to make sure that you get they cannot host the meeting. Um, a parent member can host the meeting. If no parent members want to host the meeting, then the FLC or somebody in the district office can host that meeting for you, or President's Council as well, if they have been established, like I said earlier, um, before September.
Yes. And also, just a little reminder, I get so many phone calls, and just in case, I mean, it is always a courtesy, to work with, not a courtesy, but that's what we do. Like we work directly with, the principals, the school community, and you don't need to have your agendas signed by the principal in order for it to be distributed by no, in order to be distributed to your school community. You can literally have it printed and just give it out to your constituents because that's your job, that's your work. All the parents um, want to be engaged, but if they don't know how, when, where, then they're not going to show up. So you don't need to wait for the principals to sign it, approve it, and then they will send it out. You can just send it out please send this out by the end of the day. Thank you so much and keep it moving. Obviously make sure that they do send it out. But let's go with Priscilla's question.
1 second before you start,
Yes,
Priscilla,
yes, yes.
sorry. I see some questions in the chat. If you do not have an FLC, yes, the FSC can verify voters and run the election, and verify voters, for President's Council. That was asked in the chat. Or anybody that the superintendent assigns for that role. I hope that answers your question. Thank you, Priscilla. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. I have a question. You know, PTAs are depleting their balances this month. And with that, the question comes when they start to gift their valedictorians and salutatorians. And some schools gift them check. I don't want to hear cash, but I have heard cash and gift cards. Is that allowed?
Rosa, Priscilla, I would love for you to ask that question offline and we could discuss it because it's technical, but can we
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'll email you because it's that season. All right. Thank you.
But just to follow up on that, PTA should not be depleting the accounts. So just because you did not say that you didn't spend what you said you were going to spend or make what you were going to make, wherever you're at this point, you don't go looking for things to just splurge on because you made that money this year. So you're going to take it with you, but not take it with you, but like you're going to spread it around. You leave it for the incoming PTA so that they have something to start with and you keep going and that's what your budget is for. And so please, if you're a PA PTA, do not start depleting your accounts. Maybe you don't like the next PTA that's taking over or something like that. We're not here for each other. We're here for the kids. We don't want to hurt the kids. We want to allow them to keep going and moving forward. And maybe some unfinished business that you had, they can continue. So please don't do that. Really, it's just hurting our kids.
Definitely agree with Randy, and I have definitely seen the same thing. And we want our children to come back to school in September, having already scheduled some ice cream parties, celebrations, and pizza celebrations. So, and there's so much that we have to do. Yes, Anthony, I think you were going to.
Yeah, there's another question. Can you talk about the process of certifying elections and what's the FLC's role in this? So when it comes to certifying, I'm going to talk about PAPTAs and then I'm going to talk about President's Council. So for PAPTAs, the PC or the designee or the principal verify its votes, and they select that method on how they're going to verify the voters. Some people give codes, some people use last couple of numbers of OSIS. There's different ways depending on what works best for the person doing it. For President's Council, the FSC and FLC should do the same. Verify that the new coming, that you have been certified by your election certification form. So that's why it is important to get that filled out once somebody is elected to the board. It's equally important for PAPTAs and President's Councils. That's how we know who was elected. That's the names that we are looking for when it comes to elections. If the president is not the person attending the President's Council meetings, the designee or the alternate should be on the election certification form. You can't just show up and be like, hey, I'm the alternate. If it doesn't say it on the election certification form, we will not recognize you. So make sure that you're filling this out to a T. Make sure every spot is filled because we want your voices heard. And the only way your voices can be heard is if we have proper documentation.
Thank you so much for the election certification. As every single district needs the election certification, we, CPAC, also need the election certification. So please, please, please send Anthony, every single FOC, FSC that are here in this meeting right now, please send all your election certifications forms to Anthony and make sure that the CPAC title is actually, if it's not obviously the president, that is someone, a representative of that district or borough.
So I don't
And
need the election certification form for your PTA. That's your FLC or FSC. I just need President's Council's election certification form.
yes.
And for
Yes.
PA PTAs, make sure you're sending the election certification form to the district office and to your parent coordinator or designee. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, and any other question before we move on? We have like half an hour. Not really, like we have like 15 minutes.
Rosa,
Um,
Emery is here.
yeah. I do see her, but I just wanted to make sure if anyone else had any other question before we move on with Anne Marie. No? Okie dokie. Thank you so much, Randy. Thank you so much, Anthony. Anne Marie, you ready?
I am. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Anne Marie Dahl. I work at DIIT, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for all of the input that and feedback you've given us over, these last couple of months on this process of moving over to the DOE external emails. So thank you. I especially want to thank our executive board, our CPAC executive board here, who have been spending a lot of time with us. Giving us your feedback, giving us their feedback, going in and getting their hands dirty and testing these emails. And, technology is tricky. We think everything's going to be great, and then we start using it in real, and we realize that we uncover some issues. And so we know that that's always the case. And we're just so grateful to have everybody here as partners to get us through. What I will say is we're committed to making sure that this is going to work, and the only way we can do that is through your feedback. So I just wanted to start by thanking everyone, especially CPAC Executive Board, Randy and Rosa, especially for taking so much time to go through this. I do come with wonderful news, I hope. We, based on, again, feedback from CPAC Executive Board, we actually worked directly with Google to come up with a solution that is going to hopefully make this a heck of a lot easier for everybody. And with this solution, we're still going to have the individual account and the shared inbox as well. But the shared inbox will be not a Google group. For those of you who have been testing the Google group, it's a real email address now, so you don't have to toggle through and go through those groups. Yes, Randy, Google figured it out. We spent hours, the team spent hours with them getting it to make some changes to get it to work. So it will be a real email address. You'll be able to email from that account to, hold on, Randy, are you ready? To, from NBCC. And wait, there's more. You can delete messages now. You can delete the messages that are a mess. I know. And what's even better is it's only going to take us a few extra days, not weeks, not months to get this up and running. So the team has been working tirelessly to make sure that we're still with our timeline so we can keep moving with building out those individual accounts so that we can then attach all of you to those new shared inboxes as all of those elections are being certified. And again, based on feedback and your input, Randy and Rosa in particular, and other CPAC executive board members, the way that we're going to attach everyone to those shared inboxes is going to be, if you are the president or co-president, you will automatically have access to that shared inbox. If you want someone else, if you want your secretary, your treasurer, that's at your discretion. We have a dedicated team now that's going to support this for us on the technical side. See, we got it. I promise. It took some time, but we got it. So if you want that to happen, we're trying to actually get the submission form as part of the EU portal so it's cleaner and everybody can go into one place. And if not, it'll be like a quick Google form that my team actually is going to manage, and we'll get you at that. Like, so if you want to add somebody or change somebody, and like you'll submit that form, we'll finalize, Rosa and Randy, maybe we can meet next week and kind of come up with that process will look like. But we'll have that person up and running within 1 to 2 school days. So it's not going to take weeks. It's not going to take months. You tell us who it is. Everyone confirms that they've been elected, and we will go through. Um, and then for those who are not aware, I do want to share a couple of other updates. I know Rosa and Randy, the rest of this is not new to you, but it might be for everybody else, so just wanted to share it. The team also has been working and testing with Rosa and Randy and team to make sure that we can actually pull. So for those of you who do have data in your old @schools.gov accounts, we've tested it. It's going to work. We're actually going to move all of your emails and all of your files over. So you won't have to download, you won't have to forward. None of that's going to happen. They worked it. We tested it in our realm, and then we actually CPAC Executive Board. I want a huge shout out to all of you for literally getting on calls with us and with the team, sharing your screens, testing things with us, seeing what doesn't work, this doesn't work. Every time you tell us something doesn't work, we are committed to making it work. We're figuring out and making it work. So it's because of all of you and, the team who's not able to be on the call today, but all of the hard work and all of the partnership that we've done. Because of that, we can do this. We can give you everything that you've been asking for. So thank you so much for your collaboration. And honestly, thank you for your patience. I know that you're all, listen, I know it's not that you're parent leaders and only parent leaders, you're parent leaders and your parents. And some of you are on multiple PAs and PTAs in different districts and have jobs and have lives and have families. And so we know that this is one teeny tiny bit of like so much stuff that you do. And, as a former assistant principal, as a former teacher, I know how hard you work. And I know what a big difference you make to your school community. So, we are, like I said, we are committed. We would want everything to go out perfectly and smoothly. We know that that's not always going to be the case. We can't foresee everything. And so we're just asking that as we move forward, if you continue to please just tell us if something is not working, let us know. Again, we are committed to finding the right solutions for you, not from a technical perspective. Obviously, we care about that. But the technical solution doesn't work if it doesn't work for you and if it doesn't make your lives better. So please continue to share that feedback. The last thing that I want to share before we take some questions. Sorry, I just have some notes. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. No. So the last bit of it is we are continuing to build out resources. So I can put the Info Hub page in the chat again. We're going to continue to build that out. Actually, we've been partnering with CPAC Executive Board and getting their feedback. As they've been testing stuff with us, we've uncovered different things that we know we need to provide training for. So in addition to the guides and the step-by-step walkthroughs that you'll see on the Info Hub page, we're also going to be hosting live training sessions over the summer. So we have to work out what that schedule will look like, but they'll be throughout the summer and throughout the fall. And they'll be like larger scale types where we can say, we're going to walk you through, you can log in, we'll show you how to do it. But then we're also going to do some smaller groups for all of you, and we'll scatter them throughout the day. We know some of you can come in the earlier in the day. We know some of you can come in the evening. So we'll make sure we have opportunities throughout. And of course, we'll record some webinars as well. But we also want to do some smaller groups too. So if you have some questions, we'll have some office hours. We'll have some people from the team who can I'm not the most technical person, so I won't help you. I call them to help me, but they will be the ones on the calls with all of you. We will schedule those out. We'll work with CPAC Executive Board and FACE to come up with that schedule to make sure we share that schedule appropriately so that you all can come and we can help you and provide you on training and whatever you need. In addition to that, if there are topics that, that are standing out to you that you really want to learn more about, whether it's related to these emails or something else, anything technical related, anything in that realm, please let us know. Like I said, we are committed to helping and making everything go as smoothly as possible. So, and I love doing coaching and training and helping people learn how to do things. So we're always happy to do that and to do that for you. We're also going to be working more closely again, or continue to work closely with our district staff and provide some training for parent coordinators as well. We did one session for parent coordinators in April, and we'll continue to do more. But again, if there are any topics you want for yourselves or for some of the other parent leaders that you work with, please let us know. We will provide that for you. We can guess. We can do the very basics of, we know that there's certain things that you need to do, but maybe there's something that we're missing or we're not aware of that you're not sure of and or you want to learn how to do. Just let us know and we will set that up for you. So that's my points and questions. I'll take some questions.
Yes, so we have a couple of questions. We're also going to acknowledge first the people that are going to speak live, and then we'll go through the chat. And we will be doing trainings, right, with questions and answers, and then we'll do like morning times, evening times, all of those details. We as executive board members will figure it out, and then we'll definitely let you know because we want every single parent to know what's coming. Um, and Adriana, your question.
Okay. Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Anne Marie, for that presentation. So I remember when this happened about 2 years ago when Shirley was president of CPAC and we had this conversation. But I am not going to tell my PTA presidents in my district to do this because I do not feel that there's a secure, the DOE is secure with our information. I don't know why they need our social security numbers or birthdays to do this external Gmail account, why it cannot be attached to the school and the PTA number. I don't feel comfortable sharing any information. Even our parent coordinators, they've been reaching out to our presidents asking for their personal information. Personally, I think there should be some kind of form or a waiver saying that, do you agree to DOE sharing this information because it's very personal? I thought it was for the bank accounts, but it's not even for the bank accounts. So I don't understand why this external Gmail needs this pertinent information. Why do we have to give it to the parent coordinators or whoever it is asking for this information? Because that's what they're doing. They're calling them or emailing them for their social security numbers or their birthdays. Why is it DOE? I want a guarantee from the DOE that this information is not being shared and that they have a right to share this information for the email. So I'm sorry to say that, but that's how I feel. And until I get that guarantee from the DOE, I am not going to tell my PTA presidents to give this information just for an email. And I don't know why we need this just for an email.
Sure. I'll first of all, thank you for bringing that up. I'm going to clarify a couple of points first. We are not collecting social security numbers. DOE does not collect social security numbers.
But they ask us. It's in the form, social security number or for date of birth.
Okay, so I have to, if we can maybe talk offline because that's none in our documentation. The only time a social security number is ever collected is for an employee who has to go through a background check. That is not the case for any of you. We are required to collect a government issued ID number, but that could be it could be a library card number, as long as it's a unique number that is attached to you. That is a city policy, it's not a DOE policy. And that's just to create the email address. I will send you the information. We have all of our privacy policies about we do not share information with anybody. We are very, very tight about that. It is publicly posted. I will share all of that with you as well, just so you have that. We are very, very
I'm sorry to interrupt, but that is not the emails that's coming from our districts. There is a form and there's a list of what they need for us to set up these Gmail accounts. Date of birth, social security. I would like a form or something official from the DOE that is not required and to take that off the list. That if you do not need that, then I will share that with my PTA president.
100%. I will speak with if it's coming from the districts, I will speak to the districts and I will check their forms because they should not be requesting that level of information. It should be a government issued ID and a unique date of birth so that you can use it to reset your password. That is the only thing it is used for. We don't document it because that's how the password self-service that works. Is in order for you to be able to reset your password for your individual account, you could choose to use one of those things. However, they're not all required. So that thank you for bringing that up. That tells me that I actually need to go back to the districts and we need to do some clarifying work with the districts and change the district procedures on this because that is absolutely not the correct procedure.
Right. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I can actually relate to what Adriana is speaking on. I was also asked for a social security number. And the first thing that came into my mind is like, wait a minute, we have PAPTA, Parent Leaders Executive Board members that do not have a social security number. And I'm like, has been in my mind. And I thank you. Yeah, and I thank you
this is
because
alarming
now
to me. No, this needs to be corrected. Yes.
Yeah, and I can bring this a video recorder and just play it to them. And, like now I have it, obviously. But for the past year, I've been requesting a DOE external, and they've told me, oh, we need your social security number.
Oh,
And
no,
I'm like, I don't
no,
like to provide my social security number,
no.
But now I have it, and I didn't have to provide my social security number. So I'm like, conflicting stories.
No,
But please do go back and
we
speak
will.
to every single district, including boroughs, just to let them know, fresh the memory. You do not ask a social security number because we are parent leaders. We don't work for the Department of Education,
We
and we're
never,
doing this. Yeah,
no.
we're volunteering, right, from the goodness of our heart, and this is what we do. We spend time because we care for all our children. I have another hand up.
Yes.
Bandana, do you have a question?
Yeah, I don't have a question in regards to the social security number and the IT. You know, we have some families that are immigrant families. They are running for the positions. It's not fair to them to ask them for social security, and that's not
Correct.
going to encourage them. That's going to discourage them not to join the PTA.
We agree with you
Gotta fix
100%.
that absolutely. And even date of birth, people don't feel safe giving the date of birth. So
Yeah.
we gotta have a better, platform or better plan so the people don't get discouraged who don't have these.
Yeah.
IDs.
I'm going to say it again. I cannot agree with you more. We do not, it is our policy to absolutely not collect social security numbers, period. That is it. That is not our policy. And so thank you for bringing it up. I'll work with Division of School Leadership and with FACE to make sure that we do some more training for our district staff to make sure that they understand that as well. It is in all of our guidance. It is in our on our materials for them. I will absolutely tell them. Again, for date of birth, that's only for you to be able to use your password reset. That is it. It's nothing that we use to validate. When you go in to do the password reset form, one of the options you can use to reset your password is whatever date of birth is on file for you. And so, again, we don't collect it for any other reason except for you to be able to reset your password. And it is not on file. It is not. It sits in the password reset system, and that is it. And so we don't take a look at it. We don't validate it. We
But is
don't.
there any system we can come out with so that they don't even have to share the date of birth, like a school code or something? So they put this.
Thank you, Bandana. Please make sure that you are being recognized, okay, Bandana? But thank you. I share. No. I share. Believe me, I know Bandana, and we are always on point when it comes to our families. We welcome families. We're a sanctuary city, especially in this Harlem. We focus on so many thousands of families. So I get it. Believe me, I know. I'm with you. And Adriana posted something in the chat, and we had a conversation and everything. So we want all the parents, and you are presidents of your president's council. You will go and tell your constituents that this should not be happening. You can speak directly to your FLC. You can speak directly. You guys are president's council's executive board members. Please go and Anne-Marie will also work directly with DOE to retrain those staff members. Ashley, do you have a question?
No, just want to let everybody know, just please, if you have any forms, any issues, any more questions pertaining to these ongoing issues, please send it via email to CPAC. Put a screenshot, put the form in. If you want to have us connect with certain families within your schools or districts, you have to let CPAC know directly, and then we're able to communicate this with Anne-Marie and her team. It'll be easier for us to get everything out there together. Putting it in the chat here is good, but you gotta send it to us via email. So if everyone can do that, work on that, gather your information and send it to us, that'll be helpful for us to do as a team. So thank you.
And thank you, Ashley. That's a great idea. And this way we can make sure everything is coordinated as well. So I really appreciate you taking that on. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ashley. And we keep letting everyone know any concerns, any questions. We're here. We're your executive board. We literally work for everyone that is here. We want your voice to be elevated. We want to be as transparent as possible. Does anyone have any other question? I see, and obviously the chat keeps on moving up. I see Caroline's question, and she says, "What is the purpose of switching to the external email address?"
So there is a city, thanks for bringing that up. There is a citywide move, not just in the Department of Education, to have all of our partners and all of the people that we collaborate with have different emails than our employees, because that has to do with access and, again, the type of information that we have. And so this is part of the move to support that larger effort. So our parent leaders are one group of many, many groups for whom we're doing this. And what it does is the previous email addresses that some PTAs and PAs have been using were shared, were email addresses, were employee level email addresses, and they were sharing passwords, and it was very complicated, and not always the safest and most secure way to do it. So as part of this larger citywide approach, this is one of the types of one of our partner groups that actually we just need to move over to a different type of email address. And so with this email address, you still will have a shared inbox that you will be able to access, and whoever else you delegate will be able to access. But that shared inbox will be attached to your PA or PTA. And then all of the files will continue to live in there just as they're doing in those old shared school.gov accounts, but they are more secure because of the way that they're set up. And so with these accounts, you'll still be able to access all Microsoft Office online. You'll have access to the full Google Suite, and you still have access to Zoom.
Yes, thank you so much. I know, Melissa, you wrote in the chat, and I don't know if you want to ask the question, but it says, how will the inbox look like for a parent leader in multiple leadership positions?
So we're going to demo that for our CPAC executive board. It looks much better than it did when you saw it last time. You'll have different shared inboxes. So you'll log in through your individual account. So for me, it would be adel1@doeexternal.nyc. And when I log in, I'll see the other inboxes that I have access to. And there's two ways you can go through it. One, you can click the email inboxes to get into them, or when you pull up a new window to type an email, in the From section, there's a drop down, and you can actually just change it and say, I want to send this from my CPAC account. I want to send this from my DPAC account, all within the same realm. So it's much easier. I know Rosa and Randy and Ashley and team, we've had to go back and forth. It's not going to be that complicated anymore. It's much, much cleaner, and we'll show you next week. And I hope you'll be as excited as I was when I saw it. I was like, this is too good to be true, but it's not. We've tested it. And then everything will be there for you. You will have your own inboxes. You'll be able to manage your emails just the way that you have before. Really, from a visual perspective, the only difference for those of you who are using the Outlook or the old @schools.gov is that this is now moved from Microsoft Outlook to Gmail. So the visual is a little different, but it still will have the same functionality. We have confirmed that. I did see, Randy, I see yours in the chat. Actually, I was going to bring that up. This idea of so one question was, if somebody emails the old address, will it forward to the DOE, will it forward to the external? We think we're going to try, and we want to test that out with you all next week too, if we can get time. We're actually thinking of two ways. One, we're going to see if we could try to auto forward it so that if they do try to send it to the old address for a period of time, it will automatically send it to the new address. We're going to try that. We're still in the process of testing it to make sure it works. We think it could happen, but we're not 100% sure. But in addition to that, we want to show you all how to, and we can help you with that. You can set some time up with us. You can provide you can set up an automatic email address that if they email the old address, they'll get an automatic reply that says, hi, we're moving to this new address. But again, we're trying to see if we can get the auto forward set up for you for that short period of time. But we can do that. And so instead of either or, we're hoping to do both, but we have to, we're still testing it to make sure that we can do that for you.
Right. Thank you so much. Someone said to please put your email in the chat, and we're going to move with Randy and then Shanette.
So Emery, the other question that was not answered yet is
Mhm.
directory. We had asked about the directory the same way it was before. Are we still going to have access to DOE, NYCPS personnel?
I'm still waiting for an answer on that. I was pushing to have an answer today. I did not have an answer by today. I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. That's out of our purview. So
Okay, and just because I still have access, we still have access to our at school, so we can still see stuff. To create a user, it says, so Adriana, what you got from your district, it does say to create a user, fill out the required fields: first name, last name, personal email, any government issued ID number, location, date of birth, and title. It does not ask for a social security number. But
Well, date of birth is still, I don't want to get right. So that's
Anne-Marie, I just want to ask, you had said at some point because this is an issue, Adriana, that we've been going like the past 3 years, personal information, we should not have to do that. We're already like vetted because our children are in public schools and they have our information, so that should be good enough. Without attaching our children's OSIS number, that was another big fight, not attaching our OSIS number to our emails. But Anne-Marie, at one point you told me that we can use like a library card. Is that still true?
that's technically a government issued ID.
Okay, everybody apply for a library card and give that information so you can get I'm not even trying to be funny, but
I'm with you, Randy. It's a government issued ID and it's a unique ID. And that's really what the trick is, because if Randy and I go in and we try to create an account and we use a date of birth of 0101-1900, I'm going to make us younger, Randy, 0101-2000, and we both use an ID number of 00000000, the system is going to fail because it's going to say it's a duplicate person, and it's not going to let you do that. And so if you're using a unique ID and a unique date of birth, then the system will allow you to do it, and then you can use that. But make sure you write down that information, because then you could use that information like your library card. When it's time for you to reset your password, pull out your library card. That's the ID number that you used. You can use that to reset your password.
So everybody just apply for a library card, make it easy, just get like we've bought this for so long, and believe me, it's like the Game of Thrones. I mean, I don't even know what to call it at this. It wasn't even sparring, it was like full-fledged boxing matches with these meetings, with what was working and what wasn't. And finally, we're at the point that we can agree to disagree on some things, but it has to move forward. And it's unfortunate that this is the way it's working, but they are trying to make the transition easier, where we don't have to get 6 years of records out of our old email account into the new one. They're going to transition that for us, so that makes it easier. Now not having the shared inboxes, I will tell you, I was ready to say no. Like, the shared inboxes were just so messy and stressful. Anthony knows, like our whole executive board, Rosa was like, wait a minute, like, what are we doing here? And Amory knows, everybody that was on the call. But if we have like these actual inboxes that are not these shared, I mean, they're still shared, but they're not like what they look like. If I showed you what they look like, you guys would be like, I'm done. But it's better now, so
yeah,
we'll still test and we'll still give our input. So we'll see what happens.
And to that point, Randy, as we move forward and as things roll out, if something isn't perfect, or if we haven't thought of something, or there's a new use case that happens that we just weren't able to test and come up with, we can still, it's not like we're rolling it out and everything is going to be the way it is for the rest of existence, right? We still have opportunities to work on things, to clean them up, to make them better, to work with you, and some opportunities to do additional training with you all. But again, that's only going to happen if you continue to share your feedback. And I promise you, I mean, some of you have seen me for years at this point. I hope my word is true. I promise you, we will take it back and we will do whatever we can to make sure that your feedback, I guarantee you that your feedback will be heard, and to make sure that we can actually use that feedback to come up with solutions that work for you. We are committed to that. So, and I hope that as we continue this rollout, that approach continues. Like, again, this is not like we're going to say, okay, here are your emails, bye, we're never going to see you again. We're going to continue to be an area of support for you. And I really want to make sure that, that you hear that and that I say that. And I just see one more thing. Yeah, it's also going to be for Title I parents as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know it's gonna be for SLT members, Title One, PAPTAs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And my recommendation would also be go back to your own President's Council, let all your parents know, and if they have any questions, do provide Anne Marine's email. She's very active in the email. She does respond. So keep on with the education. We gotta educate our parents. We gotta guide our parents. We gotta raise their concerns because that's what we're here for. We represent them. Shernette.
Hi, I'll make it quick because I
Go
see the
ahead, take
rooms.
your
I
time.
see the rooms filling up, and I don't want to get kicked off. So, two things. That's my background, tech and data verification, all that stuff. Are you guys implying that if you use any government ID, is this a two-step verification that also requires a date of birth to be added with it? Are these both required fields?
That question is above my technical expertise, and I can get back to you on that.
So what that means is what Randy was speaking to the form, when you fill out your name, blah, 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 whatever, because you're creating a new profile that will not pick up the old profile, because I just changed my password yesterday. So you just go and change your password, you get the notification, you change your password. It is an inherited inbox that we've had over the years for President's Council and PTAs. So when you go in and you create this new profile for the DO external, it's as if you're creating a new EIN when you go to the bank. The original person's EIN number lives with that PTA bank account for the eternity of that person. So if it's a Social Security, the person could be from 10, 15 years ago. I'm asking on the form that Randy's referencing, is a validation on the name, you have to fill it in. Date of birth, is that a required field? And a government ID, or is it and or? That's very important.
They are both required fields from my understanding, but I could double check.
So
And then I just want to clarify one thing. In terms of the shared inbox, that is when we create that new shared inbox that's coming, it's actually not attached to a person's employee identification number or anything.
No. I know
okay,
that.
okay.
I was giving an example of when we leave, what happens to that information with my library card or driver's license. It stays on that profile for that account.
No, it does not. So your information is only used to create your individual account. So when you create it, it's only for, like for me, it would only be attached to ADL1 at DOE External. When we create the shared inbox, it's actually not attached to any individual person, the identity on the identity side. We actually create that separate. And then what we do is we delegate access for an individual person to see that shared and have access to that shared inbox. So once you're gone, and you're no longer a parent leader, once your account is deactivated, your information is purged from the system.
So that requires an additional step. Let's say you're transferring and you send in your certification form, then you will delete or cancel out, Jane Doe, and now you have John Doe. Okay, that's a good thing. All right. So if I put in, January 10th, 2014, you're not validating that's my real date of birth, because I could put anything in there.
We're trusting that you're putting in a date of birth that is a valid date of birth that you will remember to reissue to change your password.
Right. Okay. I'm good. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's an honor system. We do not look at ID. We do not check credentials. We're all here for the same reasons, to make sure you have access. So it is all on the honor system. And again, if there's that form that your districts are sending, we're going to take a look at it and speak to the districts to make sure that they understand all of this as well again.
And it's important that we have access, because the primary goal of this is to be able to contact FACE and all these people. We need the DOE emails. Otherwise, we might as well just all have Gmail accounts and figure it out, and we will never reach anyone. So I would think that would have been the first link out to make sure and ensure that we have access to, even if it's a mirrored database for our emails, so that we could know who to contact if we have to reach, whomever, whatever, at schools.nyc.gov, because we don't have that stored in our heads, So yeah.
Absolutely. Understood.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we have another question by Melissa. What will be the email for government filings like IRS and banking?
So I'm going to assume the question is, which email address should you use? So per Chancellor's Regulation A660, you should be using that shared inbox for all financials. So you shouldn't use ADL1 at DOE External. You should use the PS123PA at DOE External. That's the email address that should be attached to all banking and all financial information. I'm correct, right, Randy, Anthony, Rosa?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
I
And
learned
thank
that
goodness,
regulation for you all.
yeah, and thank goodness we will also automatically receive all the notifications since we use the schools.nyc. We're gonna get it through our DOE external because you said that that's gonna be right. Pass on. Okay. There's another question by Carolyn. Since it's Title I pack and everything, will CECs also have DOE externals?
We have an inquiry, that's a policy decision, and we do have an outstanding request in to see whether or not that is going to be the case. We submitted that request to see if that was one of the entities that's going to be pulled over into this realm. We're just awaiting an answer. Again, it's these decisions, it's not just DIT, it's a whole group of people. So it does take a little bit of time for us to get answers, unfortunately, but for the right reasons, because we want to make sure that we're not making decisions here that it's going to impact something else negative in a different area. So we are working on it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I do see Anne-Marie, thank you so much for putting your email for everyone. Please feel free to email Anne-Marie directly with any questions. And also bring her to your district so she can do trainings, workshops, and let your parents know. Absolutely.
I'll bring the right people, Rosa, the ones who actually know it much better than me. But we absolutely will. We're here to support you. If you want us to come meet with your district, we've actually met with 1 or 2 districts already, and we love doing it. Again, it gives us more input. It gives us more feedback. It helps us make this better. So let us know when you want us to come, and we will be there.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Moving forward. Thank you, Marie. Does anyone have any other questions for Marie? If not, we're moving on with the agenda. We're so great on time. Okay.
All right. Thank you all. You know how to find me, and we're here for you. And hopefully, we'll see you at some training sessions soon. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we will move on and have Faith take over.
Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, members. Always a pleasure to be here. I wanted to start with first, I know that Sunday will be Father's Day, so I wanted to wish all fathers and all who are, in father roles, a happy Father's Day. And I also acknowledge that, similar to Mother's Day and Father's Day, those days can be difficult as well for those who are no longer here, and we honor their memories. So I just wanted to say that from the top. Also, as we get to the end of this school calendar year, I just wanted to also share my thanks and appreciation to all of the members of CPAC for all of your dedication, support, expertise, everything that you have done on behalf of families throughout this entire year and beyond this entire year, in all of your terms. It is deeply appreciated by all of us here at FACE, and we thank you as always for your great work. So just wanted to give a few updates here. As everyone knows, we're in the process of very close to announcing the results of the 2025 Community and Citywide Education Councils. Election results will be announced very soon. We have sent a save the date because we are having the orientation on the 21st. So to all of the candidates who are waiting for results, we've already sent them a save the date for the 21st. But we're looking forward to welcoming all of our newly elected Community and Citywide Education Council members on the 21st, and we'll have a in-person orientation then, and then have subsequent the following week subsequent virtual sessions as well. We definitely want to give as much support as possible to our incoming members, and so the orientation on the 21st and the subsequent virtual sessions the following week are, our initial efforts to start strong and do everything we can to support our members. Also want to acknowledge town halls. I wanted to thank all of our parent leaders in District 17 and in District 16. We had town halls this Monday at District 17 and this Tuesday in District 16. They went very, very well, and I just wanted to acknowledge all of the support from all of our parent leaders, our CC members, for successful town halls. Our final two for the year will be on Tuesday, June 17th, will be in District 32. And then final town hall for this school calendar year will be Wednesday, June 25th in District 14. As I mentioned before, CC orientation on the 21st, and then the subsequent virtual sessions will be June 24th and June 26th from 6 to 8. And that information we'll be sharing as soon as we share the results, but we've already saved the dates to all of the respective candidates. This evening, we'll be having a cell phone policy engagement. We have various policy engagements throughout the course of the year. And this evening, we'll be having a cell phone policy engagement with the Office of Policy and Advocacy at 6:30 p.m. I will make sure that there is information in the chat. We sent invitations previous to this, but we're looking forward to a very productive session this evening. As Anthony mentioned, and I want to reiterate, conduct PA, PTA, and SLT elections to ensure that these elections for the parent association, parent teacher associations, and school leadership team positions are held in accordance with your school bylaws. So Anthony went through that, and these elections should occur before the end of the school year so we can facilitate a smooth transition for incoming officers. Similar to that, I believe Anthony also mentioned about the annual financial report. So the outgoing treasurer is responsible for preparing the AFR, which includes a detailed account of all financial transactions for the fiscal year. So the submission deadline for the AFR, the annual financial report, it is due to the principal by June 30th. So this report should also be presented at the first general membership meeting of the school year. Wanted to talk a little bit about our homeschool partnership work. Homeschool partnership team continues to build family leadership and engagement through our ongoing programming. Recent family program sessions with parents such as Brain Trust, New Women New Yorkers, Bridge to Lead, and Lakeshore have provided families with tools and strategies to strengthen their advocacy, leadership, and connection to schools. We've also maintained engagement through our Teatro Sea office hours, offering creative and culturally relevant spaces for families to connect and share how they're implementing learning strategies with their children and in their communities. In connection to that, another initiative that we're very proud of, and I believe some members of CPAC have participated in, is our Parent Council Leadership Institute with our colleague David Mensa. Just in summary, there have been 7 sessions, and the Parent Council Leadership Institute is a professional development training opportunity that's designed to support the leadership capacity of parent leaders citywide and to help guide, parent leaders in their councils and communities, combining advanced leadership training with an implicit introduction to leadership coaching and small group facilitation skills. The Institute is, designer David Mensa, who many of you have had the opportunity to work with in the past, provides, practical and long-lasting solutions to the most common council challenges. And this has been something that we have done here at FACE over the years. I think the first time we started, if my memory serves correctly, with the Parent Council Leadership Institute might have been as early as 2017, I believe, when we enlisted the support of David Mensa, and we're very happy to do that again. So applicants came from all different parent leadership experiences across the city. So we had, CC members, President's Council members, members of the PA, PTA, SLTs to participate in these 7 sessions. And the 7 sessions, what they touched upon was, a few a few topics such as responsibility, like developing an accountability practice, asking for, a practice of asking for feedback, issues such as creating collective leadership, the opportunity of conflict is one of the conversations that was had in these sessions, and much more. But just kind of summarizing a few of the things that David in the Institute has worked with our parent leaders on. Also want to mention our FLC FSC Professional Learning Series, and once again, thank the Executive Board of CPAC for their participation in one of the most recent sessions. But throughout the 2024-2025 school year, family leadership coordinators and family support coordinators participated in a robust and evolving professional development series grounded in New York City Public Schools priorities of family empowerment, inclusive engagement, and shared leadership. These sessions were co-led by our Division of Family and Community and Student Empowerment, and the Division of School Leadership, with strategic partnerships across multiple offices to ensure interdisciplinary learning and application. So it's very important that both our offices work collaboratively on this, and we're very happy about this partnership. We're going to continue it. But some of the things that some of the topics that were covered across the sessions, just in summary, were foundations of governance and engagement structures, train the models for facilitation skills, family empowerment through inclusive practices was another topic, interagency collaboration for vulnerable populations, conflict resolution and restorative communication, leadership development and reflective practices, strategic planning and policy alignment, and I believe those were most of the topics that were covered. And we look forward to continuing this partnership as we go into our new school year. And I mentioned town halls before, but just kind of want to give a general summary that we've conducted about 32 town halls since September 2023. And each of these town halls are a testament to parent leaders and their leadership and their support of their families and students in their respective districts and citywide as well. So we wanted just to thank everybody for their continued support and their continued advocacy through the town halls and partnership. So I'm going to stop there. I know I said a lot, and just always like to give an opportunity for any questions. But once again, members of CPAC, it's always an honor and privilege to work with all of you. And we thank you once again for everything that you do and really congratulate you on another very strong school academic year. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Jesse. I know I can only speak for myself when I said I truly loved our collaboration, and I know we as parent leaders were always willing and flexible to go and present to the FLCs. That was very productive. I know, if any other executive board member wants to say something, of course. But I loved it. I love them. Looking forward to the next one. Always, in community, right? We work with them. We work together every single, not just on a monthly basis, but also as executive board members. We meet regularly, and we're the ones, that hold these expedited elections when they're also in other schools, right? Does anyone have any question for Jesse before we move on? I don't think Melissa's here just yet, our chancellor. No, okay.
Well, Rosa, as we wait for questions, I just wanted to echo what you just said, and just the expertise of everyone on the Chancellor's Parent Advisory Council. Just your expertise on the regulation, the processes, your bylaws, coupled with your immense experience is just invaluable. And I think that the collaboration at the session with the FLCs and FSCs was something that we would definitely love to continue to foster. So I just wanted to echo everything that you said and how appreciative we were of your executive board's participation.
Thank you. And I got to meet FLCs in person. You know what I mean? It's been a little while also, so that was lovely too. Rima, you have the floor.
Hi, good morning. So I'm not sure if it's a question or a comment. Let's see where we end. So I want to say first thank you to CPAC because having some weird issues with around elections and that crosses over into many different spaces. And so just want to like appreciate the support. But I also want to say that like in speaking about the FLCs and about being in partnership with them, I do want to raise a concern that when we do escalate to our respective leadership bodies, or if our PAPTAs escalate to us as their respective leadership body, that there are cases where the staff are not really respecting that position or respecting that we are that escalation path for them. And it's disheartening to see that when a parent leader reaches out to have a meeting to have a session for support, like how can we support you and like what's going on, that the response would be like, oh no, we're good, we got this, and we spoke to whoever and whatever. And it's like, if we as parents chose to escalate it to our respective leadership body, that they need to understand that that's the same as them escalating to their respective leadership body. And I'm confused what the confusion is, because this is how the unions work. So we are that for parents. And so I'm gonna leave it as a comment. It's not a question. It's a comment. It sucks that we try to partner and offer support, and that we're met with resistance and hostility and animosity, and even to the point of being retaliated against or being left out of certain things. Like if we're asking, right, like we mentioned that staff are not supposed to facilitate elections and that FLCs can facilitate if there's no one else, you should probably exhaust your options within your district parent leadership before you decide that it's necessary for you to do so. And then, and then have an election go like terribly wrong. When the parents have already been doing this for more years than you've been in FLC. So I just want to raise that concern, and I'm sure others are having the same issue. I overlap a lot of districts, so I'm not saying it as an isolated. I'm not talking about D75, so I'll be clear. But again, D75 covers a lot of space, and sometimes we do deal with both FLCs, right? And so I just want to say that we need to work on what partnership looks like, and like compassion and sensitivity training, that they have to respect our elected position that we, by the way, don't get paid for. Thanks.
Rima, I just want to, I deeply appreciate your comment. And I think that one of the many purposes of our partnership with CPAC during the FLC FSC sessions was to begin to foster that relationship, to strengthen that relationship to the points that you are raising and making. And it's going to be something that we continue to work with each other on. Also, for any, aside from that, for any specific situations, Rima, like that, you mentioned, happy to talk to you offline, and definitely be, work with you to be able to address. But I just wanted to share that with you, acknowledge, I respect, I respect what you shared, and look forward to speaking with you further. But we look forward to our continued partnership that we started earlier this year, and that we look forward to continuing.
Thank you so much. I know that was part of an email thread, and I did have, like a very nice conversation with the FLC. Sometimes it's confusion, sometimes it's miscommunication. The communication doesn't go from one place to the other. And it's just like getting on the phone, having a meeting. This is what we're supposed to do. It's just all of us are busy enough, right? We're parents. I literally work 7 days per week, and I make time for this. Like my personal work, I do like after hours. So if you see an email at 3 a.m., that is me, it's not AI. Um, and then to wake up at 5:30, that's like 2 hours and a half of sleep. So it's a lot, you know what I mean? But we do it because we care, right? And we gotta continue partnering, right? The FLCs, FSCs, and the district support and our phase support, right? Like, and also utilize each other as President's Council, Title One PAC, and this is why I think it's best and the most important, if anything, to continue with our CPAC committees meeting. I think it's very important because all of us come to the table and we also have non-members too. Um, so we have to continue elevating, yes, sending email, yes, phone calls, yes, and also be mindful and always be respectful. I do everything with kindness. Like an email with kindness, a phone call with kindness. Just remember that the other person on the other end is also a human being and they're also going through so many things and just gotta respect each other and be kind. Do we have our amazing chancellor? I see our amazing Deputy Chancellor, Dr. Christine.
Hi, Chair. May I?
Of course, please.
Good morning still. Good morning, CPAC. Thank you for always showing up and really being the voice of your communities, and we always appreciate that. I think many of the Chancellor's cabinet is on at this point. The Chancellor will be joining shortly, but if you have questions and are ready to go, we would be more than happy to start listening and answering, and then welcoming the Chancellor when she joins. Thank you so much, Chair.
Thank you, thank you. And for that, we will have our first Vice Chairperson take over. Thank you, Randy.
Okay, I'll hold the questions for the Chancellor and I will start with, I believe this is for Kevin. Can New York City public schools provide busing for after-school programs that include students who already receive transportation services during the school day? Currently, these students are excluded from enrichment opportunities simply because transportation isn't available.
Sorry. Good morning, CPAC. I just wanted to tell you that I really appreciate meeting with you, everyone, today. It keeps us honest, and I really look forward to these engagements. It's so unfortunate that under the current circumstances, that our children are not being able to take advantage of all the enrichment programs that are available to them, be it after school, be it weekends, be it late in the afternoon in the summer. You know, at this time, New York City Public Schools is not able to offer yellow busing for after-school programs. Currently, our bus contracts don't allow that flexibility. They're almost 46 years old. And we're currently working on providing the opportunity so we can rebid these contracts, although they're very complicated and it's going to involve, and it does involve state involvement and legislative change that we're currently working on. We will need to extend the contracts at least another year while we work on alternatives to try to serve some of these students that can't take advantage of these enrichment programs. We'll keep everyone up to date with this. And again, we recognize that kids are not being able to take advantage of these programs simply because of transportation. But we're working on these contracts, and I'm very optimistic that there will be a change coming in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know our Chancellor came on. Just don't.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize. I'm having some technical difficulties, so I'm going to keep my camera off so I don't freeze. Great to see everyone and happy almost end of school year. I know there's a lot going on, but let's remember to pause and celebrate the closing of yet another successful school year and all the hard work that you and your kids did to get to this point. Many of you are celebrating graduates, and we're so proud of all of our students. So I don't want to take up time with remarks. I'd rather get to your questions. So, somebody changed my name. Okay, cool. That happened so fast. But I want to just leave room for all of you to ask questions. And obviously the team is here. Thanks, everyone. Great to see you.
Thank you so much, Chancellor. Okay, so the next question is, how is New York City Public Schools integrating life skills education into the curriculum to better prepare students for real-world challenges? Can schools implement classes during or after school hours?
That's a really great question. And we've done a lot in the career connected learning space through pathways, understanding that not every school is a future ready school. But we have expanded. And I think the other thing that, we're working on, regardless if you're part of Future Ready, is financial literacy and making sure that we are proposing the types of curricula that are reliable and that are rigorous enough, especially in the high school space, so they warrant a credit. We have nothing against life skills being taught, but they do need to have an academic component, and they need to be rigorous. And so this is why our Pathways team works really closely with our Division of School Leadership to make sure that curricular resources are standards aligned, and that they are fostering this type of rigor that students must sit for in these academic spaces while still preparing them for the real world. But I'm also going to pass it over to Dan or Pathways, and of course, Division of School Leadership to add to that.
No, thanks, Chancellor. Yeah, that is a big part of the rationale behind Future Ready and why we're making a commitment to parents and to students that you're going to graduate high school not just with a diploma, but readiness, not just for the workforce, although that's a focus, but to succeed in life. And so in our 135, we think soon to be many more Future Ready high schools for next year. Financial literacy, as the Chancellor said, is a core component of financial literacy, includes life skills like checking account, interest, mortgage, car loans, savings, withholding, all the things that probably a lot of us learned kind of as we got into the workforce and as we got into life and family. Our students are going to have that knowledge and skills as they then take advantage of the career connected learning opportunities, where we now have students who've earned a total of $18 million working part-time, gaining experience, skills, social networks that they can use whenever it is they enter the workforce. So life skills are a big focus. It's not just a high school thing. We realize that it's also and not just a school day thing. So to your question, Randy, right, it can be done and is being done by some CBOs after school, on weekends, middle school, even elementary school. But certainly the big focus for us is making sure that all of our kids are graduating high school, not just with a diploma, but really those workforce and life skills that are going to serve them later in life, very specifically. And we're beginning to gather data on this, so that the first job they get, whether it's after college, after high school, 2 years of college, what have you, that first job they get is a good paying job that leads to a rewarding career, that leads to economic security and generational wealth.
Yeah. Dan, I would just add that we are working with our superintendents to encourage, but also to activate certification programs at the early age, so that when our high school students graduate, they also graduate with certifications that lead directly into jobs that they can continue to grow with. And we're seeing a lot of that, particularly in Queens South, as they explode their STEM and their AI work around things such as drones, which is like a really big deal for a lot of high school students, and this activation of certification in drone flying as early as 16 years old. So I think that these are all the spaces that we see it, and we are having conversations, and Deputy Rux is visiting different districts to ensure that these partnerships are alive and well across the city. Really proud of that work.
That's great. And thank you for sharing that. This way, that goes out citywide. Everyone that's watching, that's on the call and also watching, the live stream, can get that information and share that out. So thank you. The next question is, Is there an Omni card limit if a child's card stops working or is lost? And can Omni cards be replaced digitally for students?
Yes, good morning, everyone. John Benson from OPT. Nice to see you all again. This question comes up a lot, so I appreciate the opportunity to clarify for this group. There is no limit on the number of cards that can be issued. If a card is stolen, lost, or stops working, schools can issue a replacement. There's no cap, there's no limit. Schools should be issuing replacements as needed. If there are schools you're aware of out there that are applying a rule or setting a limit, please let us know which schools those are so we can excuse me, follow up as needed to make sure they're clear on the policy. For digital Omni, we are in the initial stages of planning the rollout of that with the MTA. It's a complex project. We have to account for the fact that not every student will have a cell phone, so physical will always exist to some extent. You have to think about family preference, students who may lose their phone, but still need to get to school. There's a lot that goes into it. We're in those conversations now and more to come. We want to make sure it works when we do roll it out.
Okay, and another Omni question for you then. If a student's Omni card is lost or is not working while traveling to or from school, what steps should they take to get to or from school?
So the first piece with that, I would say, is prevention, right? Well, one thing we've learned this year in the first year of Omni rollout is the cards are more prone to damage. So the old Metro cards could take a little bit more of a beating. You could stuff them in the backpack. When you take them out, they would still work. This is a different technology. It's a tapping technology. These cards are a little bit more prone to damage and malfunction because of that. So I think what we've learned over the course of this year, and I think students are learning as well, is that the cards need to be taken care of, kept in a wallet, a protective sleeve of some sort, rather than just stuffed in a bag. So earlier in the year, we did see a lot of cases where students were claiming the cards stopped working. Those issues have dissipated. Not as many of reports of that are coming in. But I think the big piece is prevention. If something happens in real time where the card worked in the morning, now the student is trying to get home and now it's not working and they're at the station, I don't have a perfect one size fits all answer for that.
Yeah, John, if I could help you with
Yeah,
that one.
sure.
So we want to make sure that young people are not taking matters in their own hands. And if the cards are not working, we want to encourage young people to not jump the turnstile and do not walk through the door. Walk over to the station agent, let them know that your Omni card is not working and that you're going to follow up tomorrow with your school. They will allow the student entry into the train. As long as they have the Omni card on their person to show that it's not operational and they have some reference to a student ID or that I am a student, they will allow them entry. Do not take it upon themselves to walk through that open door or jump over that turnstile.
So Mark,
So
there's
Randy,
instances
can
that,
I?
oh, go ahead, Rosa.
Thank you. I wanted to piggyback on what Mr. Mark just said. So here in Manhattan, we've had a couple of incidents where a child lost their Metro car or a child Metro car stopped working. Um, and when they did approach the station, the agent kind of said, "Well, I don't care. Oh, but I am in New York City Public Schools. I don't care." And it's like the attitude and disregard for the children that is trying to get to school or trying to get home that I have a problem with. So
So if you could give me those cases, right, I will put my phone number in,
yes.
right, and I would like to deal with those real time as they happen. Chief Kalaz, the new chief for the Transit Authority is a student centered, and is not going to tolerate that kind of disrespect from a station agent. But remember that the volume of nonsense that station agents are dealing with people jumping a turnstile and all of the stuff, right? That's the stuff that they're dealing with. I'm not making an excuse for them. I am saying if
No,
you
no,
level
yes.
up, you give me any one of those cases, I will deal with them in real time, and deal with that station in real time. Another thing to remind parents of is any young person that comes in contact, whether it's a police officer or a station agent, just get the station and get the name of the person. We can deal directly with them from the MTA and from the NYPD Transit Bureau.
I absolutely love it. I do have their car and I also have a picture. I just want to like escalate it because I don't take the trains too often. I just like walk everywhere and bus everywhere. And I'm just like thinking ahead of, how these children are being treated. And then they take that to school and now they're not going to be able to concentrate while they're in school. Or they might take it home and they're not going to have a good time and conflicts happen. So yes, I will follow up with you
Please.
directly. Thank you. Randy, sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, so Mark, since you're still right here, what current measures are in place to ensure students' safe travel to and from school, particularly those with special needs or in high crime areas?
Yeah, so thank you very much for that question, right? So as a reminder, the safety of our young people continues to be a community responsibility. For schools that are seeing high crime and areas where young people are traveling to and from, and we're hearing that as a concern, those schools should take full advantage of those opportunities and those weekly conversations that they're having with their precinct commanders, because there is, in fact, a Safe Passage, Safe Corridor initiative that exists in these respective areas. Some that need to be beefed up because the Safe Passage areas they change depending on where students are traveling, what the route is, right? Our partners in our faith-based organizations, NYPD School Safety Division, our community partners and our CBOs are all a part of the Safe Passage, Safe Corridor responsibility. One of the things that you should be aware of is through DYCD, there is a YES program where they're using credible messengers and violence interrupters who are part of the Safe Passage program initiative. And if there are locations with high crime, they are redirecting those resources to those respective areas. So if you know of, you can elevate to your schools and they can reach out accordingly. Work with your borough safety director, who is also working with their schools to ensure that additional supports are deployed to areas where necessary. Also, with the Project Pivot initiative, if we have schools that are part of that, we have 331 schools that are participating in the Project Pivot initiative who are working with credible messengers and violence interrupters as well, and community-based organizations who are grassrooted into the neighborhoods that they serve. And these folks have the ability to choose a vendor who has safe passage experience if that's what schools are seeing. These are dollars that are deployed to those schools or allocated to those schools for this exact purpose. So please, and if there are some schools that you're finding that are having issues, high crime passage issues, and you're not seeing this kind of support, please don't hesitate to reach out to myself or have your principal reach out directly to their borough safety directors. And as a reminder, bring it up on the weekly meeting with the precinct commanders.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next question, family connectors. So I have to say, huge advocate. I love them. I think it's amazing what you're doing. So the webinars have been a valuable addition in empowering parents and parent leaders. Will there be opportunities to form school district or community connections under this initiative to share the resources and collectively advocate for specific local needs?
Absolutely. That was part of what we wanted with Family Connectors. Right now, we're obviously in the training phase, but I think as we continue to train and gain more knowledge in certain topic areas, I don't see a reason why we can't form subcommittees and start working across different groups. I think maybe what we should do is in our next executive board meeting, if we can get together and talk about specifically how we can activate on an idea like this, Randy. Melendez, does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, that sounds excellent. That's our next phase this summer, is to really start honing in on summer events that really bring together district family connectors, so that they can start getting to know each other while we're hosting pop-up events this summer. That's more to come. You'll know more as a connector that you are, and thanks for attending, and thanks for always sharing how important this program is and how invaluable it is, because you've been an incredible supporter and spokesperson for it. And that is the hope, that we want every family that participates to really feel like they are getting a resource and that they can then continue to be a resource in their community. And so I'm excited to have this conversation with you in our next meeting.
Great, looking forward to it. I mean, it already is, like, for parent leaders like us, it's already doing what we're doing, and it's just putting those connections at our fingertips. It's just making the resources so easily accessible that we're doing the work and we don't have to work as hard to get it done now. So it's like, I wish we had this like 20 years ago. It would have been great. Okay, so next question. Polaris. So the new payment system has been interesting, and can it be explained a little bit, because we don't have like that many like really great vendors, and they really wait a long period of time to receive payments, and some of them don't want to take the payment. Like if PTA pays them, they're like, great, we'll take it because it's a check, they could cash it right away, but we don't want to lose them. So I know, like, we brought up expediting it before this system. So now this system is like really, it's been interesting.
Yep, I can take this one. Thank you. So I certainly understand your concerns around this issue. As you know, Polaris is our new invoicing system that we recently rolled out to our vendors beginning in April. The system is meant to provide step-by-step functions, and have a dashboard for vendors to create, edit, submit invoices, upload supporting documents, post comments, and request documents, right? It is supposed to make the process of getting to the point of getting payment a lot smoother and a lot quicker. It automates email notification reminders for our field staff to certify receipts of goods and services or provide required documentation in order to ensure that the vendor is getting paid, ensuring goods and services are authorized upfront and follows New York City Public School purchasing rules. We have done some training internally with both our central and field teams. Based on that training, we are actually going to roll out some enhancements throughout the summer to make it a much better experience for the end user. We are going to actually be doing info sessions with vendors very soon. So I will be sure to share that information in those days with this group so that you can help us get the word out there. With any new thing that we're rolling out, there's going to be growing pains. So I am going to, in advance, thank you and be appreciative of the patience here. I know it's been a long time coming. As you mentioned, you were inquiring about expediting payments even before the system. This system is supposed to help us be able to do that. It's supposed to create a level of transparency that vendors never had before, which was being able to see where their invoice is within the process at any given time in real time. But again, I understand that there's growing pains when we're rolling anything out, but we are trying to again, taking feedback, make enhancements where possible, so that we can ensure that this is a process that goes as smoothly as possible. Take us a little bit of time to get there, but we are definitely committed to doing that. I will drop a few links in the chat that I think are helpful resources. And if there are any other questions beyond that, I'll also drop my email in the chat so that anyone can reach out to me directly.
Thank you so much. I mean, the reason why we raise the issue is because there's times that as PTAs, we don't have enough money to do something sometimes, or maybe the school doesn't. So we'll split a bill or do something, and uploading documents sometimes is difficult. Or if it's a CEC, sometimes like the AA isn't given access. So things of that nature are the issues. They are getting paid. It just sometimes takes, some time.
Yeah, no problem. And I mean, if you continue to provide us with that feedback, we will use that in order again to make sure that we try to enhance the system as much as possible to make it as smooth as possible.
Okay, is there an email address of someone specific we should be sending this to?
There are two email addresses that I just dropped in
those
the
two,
link.
okay.
Yep. So there's the vendor hotline, and then there's also accounts payable. And then I'm also going to drop my email in the chat so that if necessary, folks can reach out to me directly.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Okay, next question. We're hearing that parent leaders are resigning due to some support issues. Can there be monthly workshops specifically explaining the parent leader structure and how we work together directly from FACE? Each month can be a different parent leader topic to foster awareness of school, district, and citywide roles.
Thank you for that question. I think, having our parents participate in all our parent leadership structures is definitely a goal of all of ours. And we are very interested in continuing to not just have folks participate, but then also remain and share and support one another. And so it really requires that we are supportive of them. That's why we've partnered this year with DSL to really provide monthly workshops to our FLCs, and our FSCs come quarterly. The goal here is that our FLCs are really boots on the ground when it comes to the parent facing work, and they only have one principals, one president's council, one CEC, et cetera, right? And so that is really how the structure is meant to work, so that our parent leaders have a direct connection at their local level. And so we want to continue to support our FLCs and build their capacity on a monthly basis. I think our next phase, as we continue to talk about it with you, CPAC, as well, is to think about, making turnkeyable sort of PDs at their training, so that then they can take the same training that they just heard and then move them and have them at their local districts with their PCs, and then the PCs will be able to do the same thing. So we're trying to build capacity across our schools, so that regardless of what size the FACE team is, we want to be clear that you have access to all of the things you need and all of the supports you need, so that everyone can participate and remain, because that's important. So we hear you loud and clear. We're going to continue to build the capacity of our FLCs and PCs so that they can be, informed local supports for all of you.
I have a little piggyback. Maybe if I can offer like a collaboration between CPAC with FACE training, because sometimes FLCs are like, well, I work for the DOE and you don't work for the DOE kind of thing. But I think it would be great to collaborate, because, like, we are a wealth of, fountains of information. We have so much information and we love to share. Um, and it would be great if they can hear it from both, from Faith and us at the same time. Uh, that FLCs are seeing, like seeing direct impact. Oh, they're working together. Okay, so let me also join in the fun and work together too, Just saying.
Yeah, no, I think it's a powerful partnership. I think we started that already with the executive board being part of our last training. I think the FLC feedback was incredible. Not to share your CPAC business, but I heard that the feedback was they felt very supportive. We had a situation in one of our districts, and the FLC actually reached out to CPAC, right, and asked for some supports. And so I am more than excited about what's to come with our continued partnership. So we're looking forward to that, Rosa, and we appreciate that you are so willing to be partners in this work with us, and they are happy to receive it. So it's going to be good.
Thank you. Next question is, can the DOE leadership structure website be updated more consistently? There's a lot of times that we're looking for like who the FLC is, like when we're looking to support our president's councils and we're looking for who the contact person should be, and they no longer work there, or there's still a vacancy, but they have an FLC. So can that be updated a little bit more consistently?
Absolutely. We'll make sure that we start working on that to figure out the structure to update it in a better way. Thank you.
Thank you. Last question is, I'm not 100% sure. It just says busing exceptions are like, I guess there's a necessity for transportation in schools that are in areas that don't have a lot of transportation. If somebody who asked the question wants to elaborate on that. Okay, so somebody's looking for a busing exception. So does anyone want to just give information on how you get one?
Yeah, Randy, how you doing? Kevin Moran, School Operations. We definitely provide exceptions for students in various categories for travel hardships, foster care, different scenarios present at the school level. I could send you the web link, the application. It's easy to track. Parents can submit it via online. They could also go to their school and request an exception. But definitely can put the link in the chat right now. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, so there is a question in the chat, and I know that it's, you know, an issue that's been brought up and raised. We had 2 students already that have been taken by ICE. So if anyone minds answering what is in place to protect students, not just attending Summer Rising, but just school in general, because even though they weren't taken from schools and schools are still a safe place, parents are still scared and they're coming for our children. Like there's no words for that.
Yeah, Randy, I'm sure we have Emma on the line who can talk extensively about Project Open Arms. But what I will say is that we have been working extremely closely with elected officials, community-based organizations, namely Project Russo, and meeting with advocates. So we're connecting families to organizations that can get them representation. We are making sure that wherever there is a report of a family being impacted by ICE, we are connecting with the family and with the school. It's a terrible situation, and we're navigating as much as we can, but what's most important is that we're staying connected to everyone in the community. So we're hearing about these incidents, continuing to message that schools are safe spaces. But the connection with the community-based organization and the electeds and the advocates is so important because of that safe passage piece, right? And making sure that students feel protected on their way to school. And that we know of any incidents that are occurring. But I think the key point is making sure that we're connecting them to organizations that can provide representation and help them with these cases. And that's something that, despite everything that's going on, I'm extremely proud of the team. Whenever there is an escalation, we're able to respond almost in real time. Emma, is there anything you want to add?
I'm going to jump in here, Chancellor.
Hey, sorry, I didn't know you were there, Tamara. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamara Mir, and I proudly lead Project Open Arms for New York City Public Schools. As the Chancellor said, we're working very closely with the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, as well as the Office of Asylum Seeker Operations and Project Russo, because we're trying to make sure we are aware of all of these cases. So that we can make sure that we're trying our best to connect families to legal representation. The other thing that we are doing, we're continuing to offer our Know Your Rights trainings. I'm actually going to drop some information in the chat. Our next one is June 17th, and that'll be in English, Spanish, and Arabic. Oh, it's telling me I have too many. Okay, hold on. I have to drop links one at a time. And
Tamara,
then
we're sending those out to
okay,
everyone as well.
wonderful. So then thank you. So we've got on June 17th, English, Spanish, and Arabic, and June 18th, we have in English, Spanish, and French. We're continuing to make sure we want our families to know what their rights are and what they can do. Inside and outside of New York City Public Schools, we're continuing to offer our non-local law enforcement trainings for our school staff, understanding what this means inside of our buildings, as well as what does it mean when we are at graduations that may be happening offsite. What can we do to protect our students? What do we do if we're at the prom? We're just trying to make sure we're covering all of our bases, so we're continuing to get that information out. I will also put my email in the chat, and the email for our team is openarms@schools.nyc.gov. So if you're hearing information, we want to hear from you so that we can protect our families to the best of our abilities.
Thank you so much.
I do have a question for Tamara. Tamara, when you say you guys provide legal support representation, is that like an attorney that a family member is not able to, will not be able to wait like 6 months or 10 months and free of charge? Because I know we've done like fundraising for different families and it's like $6,000, $8,000. Or even we've connected them with like CUNY, immigrationlawhelp.org, and all these other organizations. As an immigration advocate, I'm like, oh my God, where else? Like, like families are like, we can't get on the phone with them and we send numerous emails and, like, is there any like a direct support that someone is actually picking up the phone?
So I want to say that we are not directly offering the legal services, right? It's not like New York City Public Schools is giving our lawyers up to our families, but what we are doing is we're working very closely with our partners, and they're prioritizing our cases. We're trying to make sure that our kids are getting the support that they need. So I cannot guarantee, but we can at least make the connections. And maybe a family has already done something, and maybe we're hoping to elevate their case. So again, I offer up. If anybody is looking for supports, we can get you get you the phone numbers for Moya if you don't have it, because there is like an 800 number. But I hear you. I hear you, and I understand that there are more cases than there are lawyers, and we're trying our best to, try to gather an army of legal resources.
Yeah, I think I have everyone's number, and it's just a little bit frustrating sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
I
I
need help
know.
now.
I know.
Yes. But I think Chancellor Melissa, thank you so much if you drop off. Thank you for your answers and continuing working authentically with CPAC for our children. Thank you, everyone. And if we have further questions, we'll be sending them out. And I'm gonna keep on going with the agenda.
Chair, may I have a?
Of course.
So just wanted to wish every father a happy Father's Day, anyone listening, anyone on the call, and a happy weekend and end of the school year. See you as we continue to work together this summer as well with CPAC. So thank you all. Have a good one.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Happy Father's Day to all the dadas and also the fathers role models. Second, share my screen. All right. So June is also heavy. We've had Pride Month. This is Men's Health Month, Shavuot, National Cheese Day. I don't know if whoever celebrates that. I was eating cheesecake just yesterday. Il Dahad was June 6th. Actually, it was June 5th to the 6th. June 8th was National Best Friends Day. I did not know that. Flag Day, of course, June 14th, Father's Day this Sunday, and Juneteenth. Oh my gosh, Juneteenth. So yes, to everyone, all the fathers that are there, through and through, strong. We're sending you a lot of love, a lot of strength. Thank you for being devoted to your children. Thank you for staying and taking care of them. And with that, 1 second, my computer kind of froze. Okay. We are going to continue discussing these the CPAC standing committees, and this is an update of what has been going on for the past since September. Since October, I apologize because I took share since October. So the meetings are defined and scheduled by the committee chair, right? Only when necessary, the CPAC chair, myself, shall appoint a chair to any committee. CPAC members are welcome to join any committee at any time. Members of the general public may serve on committees and can vote on that committee for which they serve. CPAC committees as of like today I know the capacity building and support, they meet quarterly and they have already met on April 3rd. Also, the communications meets quarterly on the first Tuesday of the month, and they have already met on April the 3rd. The high school committee, which I am also a member of, they meet the first Monday of the month, and they met June 2nd. The legislative committee meets quarterly, and they've met on April the 3rd. Multilingual learners, language learners, meets quarterly, and they have already also met on April the 3rd. So I know the Title One has had very low attendance because I've also attended. Um, we need parents involved. We understand life gets in the way. Let us know how we can best support you. We need to get this information out to every single Title One pack. Share the information, go to the CPAC website. All the committees are there and will be updated also. The special education, I'm a little sad that they have not met. The last time they met was October 6th of 2024. Um, it hits my heart because having an autistic child and being advocating for her just to get her IEP services when we have an amazing CPAC board and like we need to reactivate the CPAC special education. There's an announcement after. And then we have the wellness, health, and safety, which met May 15 of 2024. It usually supposed to meet on the second Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. And the alumni quarterly meetings, they have already met on January 7th. And I want to provide this QR for everyone that does not know. Please join the CPAC committees. Everyone is welcome. The chairs, as you know, they are voted in by their own constituents. However, only when it's necessary, the chair, we have to appoint new chairs or co-chairs to the CPAC committees. And in this case, I am appointing Elizabeth Sander Grayson from District 15 and Ashley Mulero from District 1 to the Special Education Committee. Please activate it strong. I'm also going to join the meetings because we need more representation, especially for our most vulnerable students. They need us, parents need us. And let's get to work, ladies. Congratulations. And the CPAC Wellness, Health, and Safety Committee, I'm not sure if the Adriana Aviles is still here from District 26, and myself, I represent Manhattan High School's President's Council. I've appointed myself to the CPAC Wellness because I'm all about, I haven't done self-care, and I think I need to start reminding myself of self-care. It does exist, Rosa, you need it. So hopefully I learn more as every day we learn something new. So if you're able, of course, this flyer will be sent out in an email so you can share it with all your constituents and also into your President's Council. So congratulations, ladies. You want to say something? Elizabeth,
I just want to
Ashley?
thank you so much, Rose. I'm really excited to kind of get this committee back and up and running. And I also love you on the wellness committee. I think that's really excellent with your energy. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Anyone else want to say something? Ashley, Adriana?
Just thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to working with you, and I appreciate this time. Thank you.
Adriana, you left? Oh my gosh. I know she was having tech difficulties, but congratulations. Let's work together. That's why we're here. We're always willing and very happy to continue the work. And we're moving on with our monthly meetings. And just in case, this is only the executive board meeting is just tentative. This is not marked, this is not engraved. This is just so everyone can have an idea of a general member meeting. And as a CPAC executive board, we're going to meet again and try to get these dates maybe clean up, maybe they can stay. So once we have the new a flyer, it will be sent out. Okay, please mark your calendars for the general members meeting. Take a screenshot, and also it will be sent out so everyone can have it in their emails. And maybe news you can share, maybe you want to share these, maybe not, but I just thought it was very important. Starting June 2nd, letters for the summer EVT were sent out to eligible households. So if you received a letter, that's what it is. Look for more information. The benefits will be available on June 18th. So check for your balance if you're an eligible household. Hopefully you got a letter, you're eligible, and you're able to spend $120 on fresh food. If you do not have a letter, right, or you lost your child's EBT card, the phone number is there, 1-833-452-0096. Please give them a call. I will also look for their email address and we'll be sending it out in an email. I know last year I had a problem and I didn't get the card. So they're very responsive. They're very kind. That's what I love about them. They're very kind. And yeah, so I have another slide with a lot of resources, parent and parent teachers association resources. This slide was also shared last month. It goes directly to the DOE website. Please let us know how can we best support you, and hopefully your president's council are meeting with your superintendents on a quarterly basis or as needed. I don't do quarterlies. I meet with my high school superintendents like every month, and I know they're very flexible. I have no complaints at all. Okay, I want to before we say bye, I wanted to see if Randy, do you want to share your website so parents can have an idea of how, how it can look? Because I'm still working on mine. I'm still working. It's taking a little bit long.
Sure, I'll share my website. But I just like to ask the members before, like when we motion to adjourn for the live stream to stop and the recording to stop, because I have a comment that I like to make that I just don't want it to be live streamed.
Yes. So with that, let me just end this. Thank you so much, guys. Keep on tuning in. Keep on sending your emails to us. My phone number is in every single email. Give me a call if you need anything from like resources to any other support. We're there. CPAC is there. We're available and we sign up to help you to be your voice, and we will continue to do so. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Give me 1 second. Oh, anyone seconds the motion that Randy made?
I second the motion.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Have a good day. Oh my gosh.
Well, if they could just stay on, if you could just stop the live stream, I stopped the recording
Yes.
already.
I got you, Wales.